ষড়যন্ত্র।
Acting Secretary General of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islam, A.T.M. Azharul Islam, alleged that government is planning to try the detained Jamaat leaders as the war criminals just to take revenge as they had formed an alliance with the main opposition BNP. He further said, Awami League is not keen to try the real war criminals, the Pakistani soldiers. They just want to harass the Jamaat leaders as a part of their conspiracy to wipe out Islamic politics from the country. Jamaat Acting Secretary General informed the journalists that Jamaat Amir Maulana Matur Rahman Nizami, Naib Amir Maulana Dilawar Hussain Saidi and Secretary General Ali Ahsan Muhammad Mujahid were arrested on last 29 June in line with a false case of hurting the religious sentiment of the people. They were given bail at the following day as well, but government just fabricated some 6 cases against them within one night and showed them arrested in those cases just to detain them for a long time to serve their ill political motives. The senior Jamaat leaders were consecutively taken into police remand, violating the order of the higher court. They were kept with the general convicts, though the detained leaders served the country as the cabinet ministers during the previous regime of the 4-party governments. They are facing severe torture and entirely deprived from the medical and the legal facilities. The lawyers of these detained Jamaat leaders claimed, though they are aged and respected person, even though they were not allowed to sleep at night, they are tortured and harassed physically and psychologically. The lawyers also termed the case false, baseless and fabricated. They stated that government is intentionally harassing the senior leaders in order to serve the agendas that are provided by the foreign masterminds who never like to see a peaceful and tolerable situation in Bangladesh.
এই মামলার সাথে জামাত ইসলামের কোন নেতৃবৃন্দের কোন রকম দূরতম সম্পর্ক নাই। সম্পূর্ণরূপে সরকার ওনাদেরকে বেকায়দায় ফেলার জন্য, ইসলামী রাজনীতিকে ধ্বংস করার জন্য, দেশের স্বাধীনতা সার্বভৌমত্বকে অন্য রাষ্ট্রের হাতে তুলে দেওয়ার জন্য যে ষড়যন্ত্র করছে, সেই ষড়যন্ত্রের অংশ হিসাবে জামাত ইসলামের 5 জন নেতৃবৃন্দকে গ্রেফতার করে হয়রানির উদ্দেশ্যে একটির পর একটি মামলা, মিথ্যা মামলায় দিয়ে এবং ওনাদেরকে রিমান্ডে নিয়ে অকথ্য নির্যাতন করছে।
Recently, when the detained Jamaat leaders were getting bail in one after one cases, the prosecution team of the newly formed International Crime Tribunals submitted a petition to the tribunals to show them arrest in a false genocide case. The entire allegation is baseless and false. The most interesting part is the prosecution team is completely failed to place any specific allegation or a specific place of occurrence during the submission against the Jamaat leaders. But denouncing those loopholes, being influenced by the government, the tribunals issues arrest of warrants against the detained Jamaat leaders. In a press briefing, Jamaat leader denied their involvement in forming militia forces, Razakar, Al-Badr or Al-Shams, during the War of Independence. Acting Secretary General of Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islam, A.T.M. Azhar said those militia groups were formed based on an ordinance issued by the detained Cabinet Secretary of the Pakistan government, Ghulam Isa Khan. Under the supervision of the Pakistani government high-ups like CO, OC and chairman of the Poroshobha and Union Council, the whole recruitment procedure of these militia groups named Razakar, Al-Badr or Al-Shams was conducted. So Jamaat has no connection with this recruitment procedure. Even none of the Jamaat leaders were found in the gazette of the militia groups that was published from the Pakistani government. Azhar said the prosecution's allegations of mass killing, rapes, arson and looting against the Jamaat leaders are false and pointless.
ওসি জেলা ম্যাজিস্ট্রেট ও পুলিশ সুপারে বরাবর সুপারিশ করেছিল, কাজেই রাজাকার আল-বদর আল-শামস বাহিনী গঠনের সাথে জামাত ইসলামী ও ইসলামী ছাত্র সংঘের কোনো সম্পর্ক ছিল না।
This allegation had been raised just to humiliate the Jamaat leaders politically. Before starting the activities of the tribunals or the investigation procedure, the ministers and the high-ups of the incumbent government dictated the tribunal judges to try the Jamaat leaders as war criminals. On last 19 July, at a procession in the capital, State Minister for Law Advocate Kamrul Islam openly declared to try the top 3 Jamaat leaders at the initial phase of the tribunal. In the same meeting, Joint General Secretary to the ruling party Awami League, Mahbubul Alam Hanif, voiced to hang the Nizami and Mujahid at any cost. Before starting the investigation or the trial procedure, such a dictation from the ruling party leader indicates that the whole trial and the tribunal procedure is pre-planned. These all are nothing but a part of their conspiracy to eliminate Islamic politics from the country. The first Bangladeshi government recognized 195 Pakistani soldiers as the prime war criminals. They did not consider any Bangladeshi citizens for allegedly involved in war crimes. That government also identified some 752 suspects as the local collaborators of the Pakistani soldiers under the Collaborator Act. But none of the Jamaat leaders were on that list. Jamaat Acting Secretary General alleged that Awami League sought Jamaat blessing in forming the government in 1991. Jamaat denied to go with them. Later, Awami League has carried movement with Jamaat-Islami from 1994 to 1996 to establish caretaker government. They declared several programs from the same platform. Even after emerging into the power after 21 years, in previous tenure of 1996 to 2001, Awami League did not hold the trial of war criminals. They are not trying those peace committee members who were involved in atrocities during the independence war, as they are now involved with Awami League politics. Denouncing the past intimacy with Jamaat, the ruling party are going to try the Jamaat leaders in the name of war crime this time, as Jamaat had formed an alliance with the main opposition BNP. E.T. Majha said, most of the present Jamaat leaders were students during the War of Independence, so they were not in a position to commit any atrocities like war crimes. They have taken part in all democratic movements of the country. Jamaat had a significant number of representatives in all parliaments, but despite the glorious chapter of the party and denying the humanitarian services of these aged leaders in the previous government, the present government is carrying this conspiracy in the name of trial just to hide their failures and simultaneously to divert public attention from the ongoing severe crisis.
জি ধন্যবাদ।